is true warm market referrals. Can you imagine owning your own business, not having to pay for leads or anything at all? My biggest challenge, it's just true warm market referrals. My biggest challenge right now is that I don't have enough certified licensed agents to handle the volume of the referrals that I have coming in my door. And that's our system. That's the key to the engine to make everything works. Without this system right here, there's nothing. And that's World Financial Group. Okay? Now we are in the financial service industry. So we have an insurance agency platform. What that means is we have a license agreement with over 200 carriers, big companies you heard of. And I asked them, have you heard of Transamerica? Have you heard of Western Reserve Life? Have you heard of ING, which is now Voya Communication? They say yes. I say awesome. So when we sit down with a client, it's not a sales process, it's an educational process. And what we do is we move these big companies across the kitchen table that these clients are familiar with. So if you see World Financial Group, you won't become a client of World Financial Group. You'll be a client of these big companies. Nationwide, Transamerica, Western Reserve Life. Then I go into our third platform is our broker-dealer. Some of our agents have their Series 6 and Series 63. Anything that has to do with investments, you have to have a securities license. Our broker-dealer platform is Transamerica. Okay? So when you get your securities license, your company would be branded as Transamerica. You follow me? Our parent company is Aegon. Aegon is a $568 billion company. Aegon owns Transamerica, they own World Financial Group, and they own our entire platform. Lastly, we have a wealth management platform, okay? Because we're bringing Wall Street to Main Street, and we actually have control of the entire distribution, what we did, we went to most of the big cats in Wall Street, and we said that we want you to have part of our distribution. But under one condition. Like right now, one of my business partners in California, one of his buddies worked for Merrill Lynch. And he's a vice president at a business sector at Merrill Lynch. In order for you to sit down and have a conversation with this guy, you have to have at least $25 million in assets just to have a conversation. And what he's going to talk about is wealth management. You follow me? So what we did is we went to these big guys and we said, we want you to take down your minimum $25 million minimum to $25,000. So if you have a Series 65 license with us, you can sit down with an average middle-class family and talk about wealth management as long as they have at least $25,000 in liquid assets. So with this entire platform here, we're going to pretty much do whatever we want in the financial service industry. Okay? Now let me ask you a serious question. Would you have any challenges doing business with a company of the magnitude of World Financial Group or Transamerica? 9 times out of 10 they tell me no, but if they do, I stop right there. Understand, you have to overcome the objection before you go to the next page. You say, okay, have you heard of companies like Nationwide, Transamerica? Now, would you believe these companies have more money than you and I put together? So you heard of Nationwide. Nationwide is on our exactly. So you really think that when they're doing spending all that money for advertising, they spend billions and billions of dollars to do that, right? So you agree with me that before what we're doing right now, they did some type of research. When you agree? So let me ask you the question again. Would you have any challenges doing business with a company of the magnitude of World Financial Group or Transamerica? They say no. Then we go to the next slide. Now, and this slide right here, guys, you just basically read it, okay? Next, Gary. Awesome. Then I go over the X-curve concept of wealth and responsibilities. I ask them, have you heard about it? 10 times out of 10, they say no. I say, don't worry, I haven't heard about it either. When I first saw this, I was wondering why I never saw it. It's because of the simple fact I was broke. The influential and wealthy people see this all day long. You follow me? So let me explain it to you. Now, as you see, it says law of building wealth. Law of building wealth is you're younger, you're taking care of your family. What that means is that you're in your earning years. So when you're in your earning years, you're taking care of your young wife, your kids. You know, you put yourself in a position where you put aside some type of funds that's growing some type of investments over a period of time. So when your law decreasing responsibility is you're older, you're taking care of your future. The retirement age from there is from 65 to 70. Your age expectancy is from 70 to 90 years old. So basically what we do is, at that time is, the kids are out of the house. You follow me? They're off to college. The home is paid off. The car is paid off. Most families don't have a plan like that. So we make sure we put families in a position to have a plan like that. You follow me? So that's why they said you must take care of your responsibilities while building your wealth. Now let's talk about wealth. Harvard University teaches their students a formula on wealth. And I'm going to break that down to you. Money plus time minus plus rate of return minus inflation minus taxes equal wealth. Now when you're looking at some type of investment, there's 4 types of vehicles you want to look at. The first thing is growth, okay? If you put your money inside, if the inflation is 2 to 3% and you put your money in the bank or underneath the mattress and you get a 1% return, your money is not going to grow over a period of time. So you have to make sure you have some growth. Safety. You want to make sure you have safety. You know, make sure it has some type of guaranteed platform. So if the market drops -1, -2, you have some type of guarantee so you're never losing money, you're always gaining. Tax advantages. You have to understand the tax implications of where you put your money. And then protection. Protects you against your money, protects you against yourself. So let me ask you a serious question. How would you feel if all your financial responsibilities were in order and you were building wealth for your future? You feel good, right? Yeah. Let's go to the next slide. Awesome. Now this right here is the example of someone, Mr. Start Early and Mr. Wait Longer. As you see here, the first gentleman, Mr. Start Early, he's saving $3,600 a year, which is equivalent to $300 a month. In an 8% tax deferred account. If you see here, he started at 25, he stopped at 31. I don't know the circumstances. Maybe he got married, maybe he had kids, and he stopped. He couldn't afford it anymore. But if you pay attention to it, it shows here that at least he kept his money in the investment. Okay? So at 48, they give him $128,361. His total contribution was only $25,000. Mr. Wait Longer, typically how we do, because we're cynical, we think we know everything, so we wait longer. So basically what this guy decided to do, the same process, $3,600 a year, which is equivalent to $300 a month. He put it in until he was 48. His total contribution was $61,000. So if you notice here, this guy only contributed $25,000, this guy contributed $61,000, but they yielded the same amount. That's why it's very important to put money away right away at an early age. Because when we procrastinate, we run into these situations. And when we get older, now we're trying to catch up with time. So it's very important that you take action when you sit down with a guy like me so we can implement a plan for you. Okay? Now, small changes to big money. Some of us, we don't really pay attention to our daily habits. What I mean by that is, I go to Starbucks and I get me a coffee. Roughly it's $3 to $4 a day. I go, get lunch at Subway. Roughly it's $5 to $6 a day. If you add that up, that's roughly, I say $80 a week, roughly $300 a month, okay? So they say if you cut down on your sodas, cigarettes, lattes, cable games, bottled water, etc., and you put away $300 a month at an 8% tax deferred account in 30 years, you have close to $500,000. Now, if you're married and you and your husband becomes a team, and you guys put away $600 a month on an 8% deferred account for 30 years, you have roughly close to $1 million. That's why they say discipline and consistencies are the keys to success. Gary, next slide. All right. Then I go, have you guys heard about the concept of Rule 72? They say no. I say Albert Einstein said that Rule 72 was the 8th wonder of the world of how money works. It's mathematically impossible for you to grow wealth or build retirement if you don't understand the concept of Rule 72. So we go over, it takes, let's say for example, the bank was giving you a 4% return. Good luck. We know the bank is not going to give us a 4% return. They're going to give us a 1% on average. So 72 divided by 4 is 18. What that means is every 18 years your money is doubling. So for example, you're 29 years old, you have $10,000 in the portfolio. 18 years later, over compound interest, you have 20. Same thing, 18 years later at 65, you have 40,000. Now let me ask you a question. 65 years old, $40,000 in the savings account, how would you feel? You will feel bad, right? Okay, awesome. Now let me ask you another question. If I was putting you in a position to get an 8 or 12% return, and it's doing the same thing, at 29 you have 10,000, it compounds the same way over a period of time, but at 65 you have 640,000. The bank keeps 600, they give you 40,000. Now let me ask you a serious question. Would you rather put your money in the bank, or would you rather put your money where the bank puts their money? The bank. All day long. Because we have a false sense of security, and we think the bank is safe because our moms did it, our great-great-grandparents did it. That's why we put our money in the bank. Now let me ask you another question. When you make your deposits, it says FDIC, correct? Do you understand what IC means? That means insurance company. So basically what it means by insurance company is that the bank, by law, they can loan out 10 times the amount that is in the bank. So if it's $100,000 in the bank, they can loan out $1 million by law. Okay? So let's go to the next slide here. Now, this is what we do for families. This is what our mission is. Mission is what we do for families. If you notice, it says financial needs analysis, not financial sales analysis. Okay? And basically what we do is we focus on your cash flow. Whether you need to earn additional income or manage your expenses. Debt management, where you need to consolidate debt or strive to eliminate debt. Just imagine if you were debt-free and you were just in a pool of money. Wouldn't that feel good? Right. All right, property protection. Protect against loss or income or protect your family assets. Asset accumulation, outpace inflation, minimize taxation. Emergency fund. They say you want to have at least 3 to 6 months. So if you're making $2,000 a month, you want to have between $12,000 to $36,000 in the savings account. Majority of us, our credit cards or our emergency fund are borrowing money from our friends or our family. You follow me? Estate preservation, reduce estate taxes or build a family legacy. So let me ask you guys a question. If I can help you start a plan to better protect your family and save more money for your future, is there any reason why you would be uncomfortable taking a few minutes to start a financial needs analysis? No. No. Awesome. Let me move. And then what I do, Gary doesn't have it, guys. Let me get some water real quick. Gary doesn't have it, but what I do from that is I go to the trust, respect, customized worksheet again, and I go to the 3 tax boxes. You follow me? Yes. What I do is gather information. Once I gather that information, if they don't have a lot of things going on, they don't have a lot of investments, they just have a 401k, I move forward. I gather my information, and I go over the tax boxes. You know, it's 4 types of people I sit down with, all that stuff, you know, big companies, that stuff is covered over. I go over that. I get a dollar commitment from what we get, and then I close them right there on the first app. That's exactly what we do. And I'm going to open the table now for any questions.
Hey,
I will go over the tax box, but we don't have it.
Couple of things. First of all, wasn't that awesome?
Yes.
Couple of questions. One, how many times a day are you practicing your presentation?
I practice it every single day. When I have a downtime at the office and no one's in there, I'm going back to what you said and just looking over to make sure it's going.
So you're practicing it 4 or 5 seconds. How many appointments a day are you doing?
Roughly 3 to 4 appointments a day.
Okay. Can you afford to live on anything less than $10,000 a month?
Not at all. Not at all.
Okay. So here's what you're seeing. Okay. What you're seeing is someone that has self-esteem, self-confidence, right, and has a standard. So because he has a standard, he can't afford not to know his presentation. Does that make sense? So how many appointments a day are you doing?
Roughly, we're doing about 3 or 4 appointments a day.
And how many closes are you doing?
I'm closing 3 or 4 apps a day. If I have 3 or 4 appointments, I'm closing those apps. The only time I schedule a second appointment if the information that I collect is very complex. So I don't want to just hurry up and just give them my IUL. I want to go back to the office, do some research, and then come back. But you know,
most families you sit down with, it's not rocket science. Most families you sit down with, 2 things: 1, they're not saving any money; 2, they need insurance protection. So the ability to use common sense. How many referrals are you getting per family?
Per family, we average about 8 to 10 referrals. That's the ones I take pictures of and send it to you every time.
Is there any family that didn't give you referrals?
No family at all have given me referrals. I always give referrals, but I'm telling you, if I don't receive referrals, I'm not going to do business, period. Because that means that I didn't provide value. And if they don't give me referrals, that means that they don't trust me. That means they're going to cancel the app as soon as I leave the door.
Right. So are you afraid to pressure people?
Not at all.
Right. Pressure is good, isn't it?
Pressure is very good. People pressure you when they care about you.
That's right.
Football coach, high school coach, college coach, they pressure me because they care. They want me to